Hello everyone, Westy Rail back again with another train simulator video. This time we are revisiting the Metropolitan Line, a route I haven't driven for quite a while. So we're here at Chesham, set up your train, open the doors, your book time inputs can be found in the F1 heads up display screen. Please ensure you do not depart from any station earlier than your book time. And I nearly read all that. You can probably pause it and read it if you're that interested. So we'll just set up S8 stop here at Chesham, as you can see here. So our duty number will be 024, and our radio number is any number in, that's fine. Our train number is 423, so we'll confirm that. Choose our destination code. Today we are a fast Metropolitan Line service. Sorry, there's a little bit, the head-up display is a little bit opaque, but that's fine. So we are a fast Metropolitan Line service all the way to Aldgate. So that is Aldgate Fast Met from Chesham to 03. If you're able to train on, and we're in trip mode as well, so we can open the doors and let our lovely punters in. That's just warning me. I'll reset that. Tell him to open his handle.
Chesham. This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Chalfont and Latimer.
Thank you very much, Digital Doris, much appreciated as always. Saves me from announcing it all. So this, as you can tell from the announcements, is the Metropolitan Line and S8 stock PlusPak from Just Trains. A painstaking amount of work this Metropolitan Line route took 2 years to develop. I'm just going to change my field of view, so escape in camera options you can on the fly, which is a feature added quite a while ago in Train Simulator, but always much appreciated. So they are the doors just automatically close in after a set period. We won't be departing just yet. So we're charting 0735, so I'll click our locally commuters all the way to central London. So we'll just confirm that the doors are locked. Pressing R on the keyboard for power mode, R. And you can see down here we have interlock. Therefore, I can don't mind handle one, you normally leave it in the override mode so I don't have to hold E. And then we can get going. Speeding already, and I've already just set off. Lovely. Great, I wasn't used to that. Whoops. So the screen's going off as we have left the platform entirely. Let's depart in Chesham here. Sunrise to make our way towards central London, and we'll set her up to line speed, no more than 35. Frame rate 33, so not great, not terrible. I did recently get a new CPU, therefore it is slightly better at least. Which should make this route playable, thankfully. go for the Intel 13700K, which is an i7, so an upgrade from the previous 10700K. This did increase my frame rate on the Metropolitan line probably about 10 frames per second, which when having a G-Sync monitor means that above 30 it becomes a bit more bearable now. You might have noticed by now the sounds are different to default sounds. Unfortunately, despite feedback, I'm not 100% a fan of the default sounds, even though a lot of work was gone into recording them. These will hopefully be updated at some point. So I am actually using a freeware sound pack from SamT, which I will link in the description. SamT is someone who I highly recommend. Makes some great freeware sound packs for Train Simulator, including the S-Stock 395, a really good Electrostar 375 pack as well, which is compatible with the Armstrong Powerhouse pack, which is brilliant. It's a bit painfully slow on this route of 35. We'll be able to accelerate a little bit more as we do arrive further off down the line past Moor Park. You notice I haven't gone through the stopping pattern. It is quite arduous to do so. However, we are a fast Metropolitan line service. That means we will be calling at all stations to Moor Park, and then we'll be fast to Harrow on the hill. See a lot of the shacks along the way. And then from Harrow on the hill, we will be fast to Finchley Road before calling Baker Street and all stations to Aldgate. Just over an hour's journey time, quite a long commute into London for a lot of people. I remember back in a long time ago when A-Stock used to run, the shuttle service up between Chesham and Chalfont to Latimer, the shorter S-Stock set. Services I have a fond memory of the A-Stock thundering along. That was also on the final A-Stock tour as well. I still have very fond memories of those lovely little old units, which were the last stop on the London Underground network to have a separate throttle and brake control. A long time ago now. Came into service all the way back in 2010. I can't believe it has been 13 years since these were introduced. Just under that, they stopped service a long time ago. So we have a single yellow aspect. So I need to be doing. I've got a single guide next to me because I can never remember every single approach control, but when you buy the routes, there is a signal guide included in the Rollworks folder for you, which shows all the approach control speeds. So I need to be doing 9.9 miles per hour maximum by the time I reach the yellow fog repeater, which is just coming up ahead. I love those motor sounds. Below the target speed. I think I did this before where I've actually slowed down for the wrong signal, but at least it's better to be cautious. Yeah, so in fact I have messed up a little bit there, as you're used to me doing. It's actually the next fog repeats that I need to be slowing down to 9.94, as we are coming off the Chesham branch, obviously. So it's just the fog repeater protecting the signal. Juliet Papa 9 here, coming up. That's better. Sorry for the waste of time, passengers. Hopefully we'll catch us up. So we are going to below the target speed. There we go. So the signal has cleared for us. We can proceed slightly up to 15. I will accelerate a little bit more and then slow down again, just because I'm a little bit behind now. Okay. Although I entirely forgot the approach control, it means that the signal will actually reset back to red. I'm not sure if it is like this in real life, or if it does have to be before the previous signal. But approach control is a feature that is not seen commonly in Train Simulator.
The next station is Chalfont and Latimer. Change for Metropolitan Line services to Chesham and National Rail services.
So the fact it's implemented, it's definitely a really, really nice feature in this route, when you get the hang of it, that is. So you're now putting into Chalfont. Pull that. Press the measly whistle there to warn our ghost friend there of the impending danger. And open the doors T and U.
Chalfont and Latimer. This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Chorleywood.
Slightly delayed our friend there leaving. Just up there, but it's alright, it's not too bad. Only about 1 minute late, could be worse. Not great, not terrible. There'll be a door interlock, and I can accelerate up to line speed of 60 now. Only a minute after that minor mess up of mine. Was basically got around the Metropolitan Line, for example, back towards Watford, also towards Hamish and Chesham. Metroland were areas where houses were built around the Metropolitan Line, with views of the commuters heading into central London. A lot of new housing developments. times. And as the two runners would say, it's surely good to see you again. Like their famous tube station sketch. Chorleywood, where a lot to the rate at which commuters are going to board here. It's a very, very affluent area. And you can see that the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 car stop marks. These are for Chiltern Railway services from Aylesbury Vale Parkway and Aylesbury. The old single cabin there to our right, it's very nicely modelled.
This is Chorleywood.
Yeah.
This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Rickmansworth.
It's more than my Rickmansworth. Some very nice features here. The old signal cabin here at Chorleywood, and no longer in use, I believe. Correct, I should really know that. So we'll jump back in again. It would help if I put the dead man's handle. So if I turn that, wouldn't it? Right, 2 minutes late. Not my best, not my worst. So we'll try and catch the back. And we'll make sure to whistle at the turbo heading off towards Aylesbury. Turbos are great in this sort of region of London, and where I work them, but down in the southwest, that does not suit them at all. As a quick side note. Views on my own. Speeding again. Remember an episode of The Tube, which I used to love watching years ago, where there was a manager out with a speed gun handing out speeding tickets. I believe it was at either Paddington or Royal Oak in that episode. Fond memories of watching that show. Jonathan Kidd narrating it, who also narrates a few Video 125 videos, DVDs.
The next station is Rickmansworth.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
As notice quite a large gap here because of the curved platform. And there we can see on the right, we're into a signal cabin, which is still in operation. I'm not sure if that's due to be decommissioned at some point because the whole Metropolitan line will be going ATO, automatic train operation, at some point in the near future. Certain sections of it already are, I believe, between Finchley Road and Wembley Park, or possibly Finchley Road and Harrow Hill, and I believe the core section as well.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
This is Rickmansworth.
No, Java 51, too bad.
This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Moor Park.
Well, I'm just going to zoom out again with the feed of voice slightly. I'm always very fussy with this, always. Just make sure to save quickly, save frequently is my motto. Definitely still got proceed aspect, that's perfect. So wait for it again. Put that man's handle. I'll turn it this time, that would help. And we're going again. So 25 to Barton Rickmansworth. Next station stop Moor Park, and then we have a nice fast run to Harrow on the Hill. Harrow on the Hill, are you? Again, another 2-1 sketch. Note while we are just coasting, so you'll be able to hear me a bit better. I will try to make some more content for when new releases are out. Eyeing up the new Trainsom World Glossop Hadfield route, which will probably be released in the next few weeks. So when that's released, I will aim to make a video. It does. I've looked at the road map. It includes a new guards mode, which will be interesting. How realistic, I don't know, because in reality, if you ask someone for a ticket, they don't have one. Fare evaders. A lot of them, when you ask them to leave, they will not be very polite, let's say. So let's see how realistic that mode really is. It is a feature in Train Sim I've wanted for a long time. It is like we have a Train Simulator Classic, and we do have a guard on board, so you have to use the 2 bells buzz twice back for dispatch, whereas in Train Sim World it seems they've made everything driver only operated DOO. Even on the routes that aren't DRO. So on the left there you will see the North Kev, goes off towards Watford. Just on the left there, heads into the tunnel, that joins onto the Watford branch line. Now there is one service, I believe it's late night, or it used to be late night, or it used to be early morning, but I believe it is at the moment late night service, which runs between Rickmansworth and Watford, which does use that curve. And again, I did cop that on the A stop tool, so that line is done, thankfully. Hello, friend. Onto our journal there. They are the slow lines now on the left. Junction, which I cannot remember the name of, however. Watford East Junction. So our next stop at Moor Park. In an area I am quite well familiar with around here. Very nice areas. You get up towards Watford, and you've got Croxley Green, which is quite a very nice area to live in as well. Again, another metro land area. I really like those motor sounds. try and stop quite accurately this time. Not too bad.
This is Moor Park.
Is that a train spotter I can see?
This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Harrow on the Hill.
Again, whilst this sounds, I use a freeware pack from SamT, and I do love those sounds. The actual S-Stock itself, the actual model, is very, very nicely done. So you've got the interior here just while we're waiting. Somebody I used to know. Even though it sounds slightly delayed, but it's very, very minor though. As I said, the S-Stock has been modelled very well, looks very, very functional. You can see you've got screens down here on the correct side as well. You've got various other features. Not all buttons do have a function, but you can click them, which I'm sure a lot of people enjoy pressing buttons. It's the fully functional. Calling on lights, triplet reset. I've used that button a lot of my time, the triplet reset. Very nicely modelled cab as well. With the PlusPak, it's made even better with the addition of announcements. And the announcements, unlike other things, are not scenario specific, which means that it's run on a script, which I will show here. So that program runs in the background, and when you load up a route code within the game, and no matter which scenario, quick drive you're doing, you put in a route code, and due to markers, it knows exactly where you are, which is a very clever system. Very nicely done. Really nice feature to have in Train Simulator. New CPU, the performance is a little bit better than it used to be. It's a bit more bearable than it used to be. I think around here, getting 28, I used to be at about 18, I think. And even turning settings down, funny enough, made it worse. If you can believe that. Just passing all these shacks now. See where we are. So northwards, we'll pass northwards, and then we'll be passing through Pinner. Which are usually served by Watford services. Normally at peak time you get Watford semi-fast services, which serve all stations to Harrow on the Hill. Usually fast to finishing road. They are saying earlier about the A-Stock, back in the day of the A-Stock. I remember all day there were fast to semi-fast and some Metropolitan Line services, which made it a little bit confusing for some people. But if you are going to Chesham, etc. at the middle of the day, at least your journey time is reduced significantly by around 10 minutes or so. But nowadays, the fast services only operate in rush hours, morning and evening rush hours. Service and another ex-Watford service that will most likely be. The only thing is, as per real life, there isn't cruise control because when you get close to London, the stops are a bit closer together. On my toes, I should be on my toes at all times. Sometimes the approach control, for example, is difficult to get used to. So, double yellow aspect coming up. I believe there is another approach control, as we are approaching Harrow on the hill. Which is, as far as I know, it's definitely not on the hill because you've got Harrow Skill, which is up the hill. So Harrow on the hill, maybe Harrow at the bottom of the hill. Looks like with each stop instruction, it looks like we are timed to stop here. Signal Juliet Bravo 45. Slow down in a moment to stop at that. So it's an approach control signal anyway. 19.9 miles per hour. Process from the fast to the slow, which we're not doing, but I'm going to slow down anyway. I should have actually slowed down a bit before the previous signal, but it's fine because we're not crossing into the slows. Hopefully we're not held here for too long. I know people are itching to get to work. Here too long, I'm not sure, but we will come to a stand in a second so I can register the stop. Not sure how long we are meant to be stopping here for. I'll tune to Harrow on the hill at 8:04 though, so about now. So I'm not sure why we are being held. Let's have a look. We are waiting for train number 465 to cross in front of us. Hopefully we will get the road. Hopefully I haven't messed up and gone a bit too fast for the approach control, and we'll find out in a second. But at least it's a bit of entertainment. Doesn't clear, I know I've messed up. Ah, perfect. See, I can sometimes get things right. Very occasionally. It's nice to have a scenario where you do have some red signals. I didn't mention this is actually a scenario pack downloaded from UK Train Sim. Rest in peace as of August. I'll put the link in the description again. It's relatively old scenario pack, but it has some really good rush hour scenarios. Very authentic scenarios as well. There's quite a few in the pack. Again, I'll send a link. Unfortunately, UK Train Simulator, which I've been using for many years. I have fond memories of getting the DVDs of the Devon Coast and Manchester Metro link from there. Unfortunately, that will be no more from August, so you do have a couple of months to get those. Harrow bus station left.
Station is Harrow on the Hill. Change for Metropolitan Line services to Aldgate and National Rail services.
Harrow is not the best area of London in my opinion. I have been briefly to visit the Wetherspoons. I made a quick escape.
This is Harrow on the Hill.
Chiltern Railway's turbo there, racing our S-Stop into Harrow on the Hill.
This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Finchley Road.
Cheers, Doris. So we have after stop at Harrow and Hill. This is normally, and there would drivers do change here. I was going to show you the feature as well. You can open and close the cab doors, which is another neat feature. And a very satisfying button click sound, which is default. So clear signal, close the doors. Again, it would help with that men's handle, wouldn't it? Actually, one of the purposes of this video was to test out a new microphone which I bought to see how well that worked. Also, I did feel like driving the Metropolitan anyway, so it was good to share it. Like I said earlier, I tried to make content for new routes as and when they're released. Probably my first Train Sim World video. The Hadfield Gossip Line was released with the very Hellfire from Class 323. Whenever that is, probably the next couple of weeks or so. Passing Preston Road now, I believe, unless I've got the wrong order. It should be Preston Road. Let's have a look and make sure. Sorry, my apologies. Norfolk Park and then Preston Road. Very embarrassing. You think being in London, you think I know a bit better, especially as I do use the Metropolitan Line a fair bit to visit a friend in Croxley. So I'm just trying to avoid stopping services for obvious reasons. So I'm going to go in the evening. But again, we are a fast service, and that is why we ran fast between Moor Park and Harrow on the Hill, and then from Harrow on the Hill to Finchley Road. There are also semi-fast services, most on the Watford line, which will call at Finchley Road and sometimes Wembley Park. Then they'll be fast to Harrow on the Hill, and then they will call out all stations from Harrow on the Hill to Watford / Moor Park if it's going to Amersham or Chesham. And all station services are the only services which serve Preston Road and Norfolk Park. Apologies for driving with a heads-up display. I'm fairly useless otherwise. So there's Wembley on the right-hand side with this famous arch as well. Quick side note. Let's just slow down to 45 from Wembley Park. But again, I'm a bit useless without a heads-up display on certain routes. For example, this one. Let's slow down for the single yellow aspect here. It's not approach control, so it's been held for some reason. Not a scheduled station stop, so don't try to leave the train. There we are. There's most likely something in front, which is what I like about this rush hour scenario back. There's a lot of AI traffic can see that we had a single yellow as well. Next single will be out red. So I'm just going to take it nice and easy now. As we join the main line, as the fast lines were for avoiding Preston Road, Norfolk Park, all trains now run fast to Finchley Road. Just about seeing the distance. I think that's another train. Just reminds me of the famous sticker in 1995 Northern Line stock and 1996 Jubilee stock, which says if you can see red lights ahead, there's a train ahead of you. It's the real sticker they have in the cabs. Just something I remember from open BBE days. Or BVE 4 days even. See there the backed up signals, that's the Jubilee line in the middle. Jubilee line of course serves all the stations between Wembley Park and Finchley Road. Don't ask me to name them all. So, but that is now automatically operated, hence the signals are backed up. As we pass Neasden Depot on the left hand side, Neasden Depot for the Jubilee 1995 stock and the Metropolitan Line S8 stock. Some S7 stock. The Hammersmith City Circle District Line are also serviced at Neasden. Slow down to 40 to get through Neasden. Let off a little bit. Not very smelly. I'll let off a little bit just because there is a train ahead. So with stations like here at Neasden, with these platforms by the way are not used at all by Metropolitan Line services. Places like this were revamped for the Metropolitan Line PlusPak, which was really appreciated. It's definitely given it a new lease of life. This was probably used to be the weakest section of the route in my opinion, but it's been revamped and improved with some new developers. And then the Just Trains team. The whole Metropolitan Line in a whole is a really big milestone for train simulator, especially with this new announcement system, the S-Stop. They've done a fantastic job. Just Trains have really come a long way since their old days. Got another train on the right running behind someone else. Yes, so Just Trains have come a long way since I remember playing Scottish East Coast Main Line, and I was always quite critical about their old stock with a lot of Cuju assets. Could you not? Might be nice not be an AI collision. It's always worrying. Train simulator with things like AI collisions. I think we might be okay. Hopefully, I can't remember when we passed the empty stop there. Sorry, I went on a tangent again, didn't I? Just Trains. I remember playing from the Scottish East Coast Main Line days. Cuju not. A lot of Cuju assets back then. A lot of default default stock. I mean, you basically drove the 165 everywhere. But really, the new Just Trains, whilst it's critical as the old ones, the new ones, a lot of their new routes for the new developers they have. Modern Just Trains, sorry, is 100% better than the old days. And I can now enjoy their routes. For example, this was probably the Metropolitan Line. I remember the Chiltern Main Line I was quite critical about as well, due to the track work in place. But after that, the Metropolitan Line really was a turning point for Just Trains. Lovely route, lovely S stop as well. And of course, they've gone on to develop such great routes. For example, the Midland Mainline series, really nice. A lot better than what Dovetail Games can offer now. So Just Trains have really overtaken Dovetail Games in the quality area, which is very appreciated. You might have just seen there, it's a searching for Metropolitan. Train ahead on our platform. Yes, it is. The fog repeater is showing a yellow. I was prepared for it. These were said in a search of Metropolitan Line. Another feature is that the radio area does change as well.
Station is Finchley Road. To change for the Jubilee Line.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Which is a really nice feature. It's just it's the little things that matter. Not sure if I will be able to get this close to the train in front in real life, because of course the tripcot system, which is the safety system on the Metropolitan Line and all London Underground lines, the system would be on the track, the tripcot on the train, and it would be up on the track with the signal being at danger. The train would go over it on the tripcot equipment would go over it. Train will be stopped. Of course, there's not enough time there if I was going line speed to stop before the back of that train in front. So it's lucky I stopped. But the signal sections are quite far apart, so we have a green aspect already. Again, I will just run a bit slower towards Baker Street just because I know we have something in front.
Find the gap between the train and the platform.
This is Finchley Road. This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Baker Street.
I was mentioning earlier about Just Trains. So route developers for Metropolitan Line and for a lot of new routes and Mark Walker and Thomas Harrison. They're very talented. For example, the Midland Main Line, which they developed, and now as well with Benedict Cooper as well, who's another very talented 3D modeller who works on a lot of the more recent routes. The other custom objects. It's insane. Tom Williams and Will Stead as well for the Metropolitan Line. concentrate with the approach control coming up. The next one is Marlborough Road. So this is a disused station. I do know what it is because I watched on Secrets of London Underground. At the moment, it's not coming. It's not coming to me. Let's have a look. That was either Lords or Marlborough Road, which are two stations which closed quite early on, 1939. They both closed on the 9th of November 1939. One of them is important because it's approach control, which I believe is here, 19.9, the yellow repeater. Perfect, I've done that right for once. So yeah, that was Marlborough Road, and we'll be coming up to a disused station, not closed in 1939. I was visiting Secrets of the London Underground with Tim Dunn, who I'm a bit of a fan of, I have to admit. A series I highly recommend watching if you are a fan of the London Underground at all. It's a very nice weather in here up on the brickwork up there. You might have seen that house there now. On the district line, you got a road, again, the name escapes me, but it backs onto the district line, and actually there is a false house frontage facing the railway, but actually it's hollow, just so there's no gap on the street. So I think we lost the tail of the train in front, so to speed up a little bit, our next approach control is at Lords. Which is 39.9 miles an hour coming up. We have 14.9 miles an hour. Restriction again in real life, this will be 15, but due to train simulator software limitations, it's 14.9. That's cleared for us. We need to be at 14.9. Approach control, I can't get my head around the reasoning for it really. It's a lot slower in some cases like this, 10 miles an hour slower than 25. You're thinking it would be 24 or 25 even in real life, but in real life it is 15. Reaching 14.9, so the next one to clear for Alpha 889 to clear. That's if we're not up the tail of the train in front, that is. So it should clear for me, fingers crossed. There we are, just like magic. The magic of decent driving, that is. Again, the signal guide is found in your railworks folder upon installation. Be a bit careful here. Approach the single bore. Well, I say approach control, it's a draw up signal we have. Mike Bravo 100, which is the fourth signal before Baker Street, which is coming up. So we need to be reaching 4.9 before this 25 miles per hour sign here. So I'm just going to reach it slowly anyway. So maximum of 4.9. This is a draw up signal, so it should clear as we draw up to it, fingers crossed. If the section is clear, of course. So I've got to be prepared to stop. It's always nerve-wracking coming up to it thinking, you know, is it going to clear or not? Thankfully that time it did, so it's working properly. 10.9 miles an hour now for our next approach control signal. For this second signal before, it's just coming up. But this might not clear, we've got to be very cautious of this one.
The next station is Baker Street. Change for the Bakerloo,
It's
Circle,
clear.
Hammersmith City and Jubilee Line. Exit for Madame Tussauds.
Mind
There
the
we are.
gap between the train and the platform.
And then we have yet another approach control signal to battle with coming up, which should clear for us. Make sure it does. There we are. And then, yet again, halfway along this platform, platform number 3 this is, we have another draw-up signal of 4.9 miles per hour. Which needs to be reached by the yellow repeater, which is on the platform canopy, it's just on the top left there. Clear, we are going to do a little bit slower than 4.9, that's fine. Some lovely signage up there, by the way, lovely underground signage for the Bakerloo line, etc. There we are. I'm always scared to go like up to 4.9 up to it just in case. So now we can accelerate to the end of the platform. So we know we are fully in control of the train. Something that I'm good at, as you know.
Mind the gap
Bit of fun
between
in
the
there.
train and the platform.
This is Baker Street. This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Great Portland Street.
So I know we had a green, we still have a green. Come back to the signal there for Mike Bravo 414, which is just down here on the ground. So we need to maximum of 14.9 miles per hour now. As we join now to the Circle and Hammersmith City lines. There we are. Now actually, on the real life London Underground is different to National Rail, which means that speed limit signs, you can accelerate to the speed limit as soon as the front of the train's past the speed sign. Of course, on the National Rail network, it's when the rear of your train has passed the speed sign. But of course, again, a train simulator limitation, you need to stay at the reduced speed until the rear of the train has passed, as per National Rail laws. Relax a bit now. Our next approach control is not until Euston Square. And let's see if I can stop without a head-up display. See what my skills
The
are.
next station is Great Portland Street. Change for Circle and Hammersmith City Line services via Farringdon.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Look at that.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
This is Great Portland Street.
I love that minor gap announcement.
This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Euston Square.
Just reminds me a lot of World of Subways, that announcement. And that was a classic game from when I was a bit younger. TML Studios, quite a few years ago now, that was very innovative for its time. That covered the whole of the Circle Line from Hammersmith all the way around in the spiral around to Edgware Road. Great route, which I'm good at, and the fun to go announcements, and the old C stock as well, which I don't miss as much as the A stock. I have fonder memories of the A stock than the C stock, but still classic. So our next timing point is at 8:32 at King's Cross. We're a couple of minutes late.
Station is Euston Square. Change for London Underground and National Rail services from Euston.
So another approach control signal. These starting signals are approach control, so 9.9 miles per hour, about 2 car lengths from the end of the platform. We are a couple of minutes late. This was not my fault for once. This was due to other train services being ahead of us, crossing in front of us.
This is Euston Square.
Bless you.
This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is King's Cross and Pancras.
I recognise that ambient noise from that was actually from the Portsmouth Direct Line, the original one, which was one of the first DLCs I bought back in the day. Trains have come a long way since then. And we have interlock, so off we go again. Next stop at King's Cross, St Pancras. So about 5 minutes late. But really, the schedule on the Underground's not quite as important, really. Another approach control, 34.9 here. I was saying, yeah, it's not quite as important on the Underground to keep time as it's a very, very high intensity service. As well, just the basis for rostering, etc. First and last service has been important. The timetables, of course, in real life. So down to 20 for King's Cross, and it's approach control at the end of the platform. Fast there. Hopefully we can still clear the signal. Just checking my facts. There we are, perfect.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
This is King's Cross and Pancras. This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Farringdon.
So I was just checking my facts. I used to know this off by heart. Obviously, I've got old age and all that. But we are on the oldest section of the London Underground. Opened on the 10th of January 1863. 160 years ago, can you believe it? Something I didn't know is the fact that the Metropolitan Railway actually built a test tunnel and Tyne and Weir in Kibblesworth, as it's got geological properties similar to London. That's something I didn't know. It operated first between Paddington and Farringdon using steam locomotives. Something I do know, built using cut and cover. So dig up the road, dig up above, build the railway and cover it up again, rather than a modern method of boring. I am sorry for boring you. So I'm concentrating well on next approach controls. Again here a very very nicely modelled section, very typically London Undergrounds. For this route a lot of London Underground assets were created, which were very nice assets. On the left there, that's the Thameslink core running alongside us. But yeah, some really nice assets created, and create a big library of London Underground assets. Signalling, etc. is very different to National Rail. So it needs to be doing 19.9 miles per hour maximum by the time we reach Oscar Hotel 47 Alpha. Which I don't think is this one, but I'm just going to be careful. I believe it is the signal coming up, which you can see, the next yellow signal.
The next station is Farringdon. Change
It is that signal, so luckily I slowed down.
Once
Let's go into our
again,
47 Alpha.
between the train and the platform.
So 9.9, 19.9, so we've unnecessarily slowed down there. But again, at least I was cautious. So as we approach Farringdon, rebuilt, you can see on the right, that's the Thameslink platforms there. And the Metropolitan Line did save my life one day when the power went down on the Thameslink core. Luckily I was at Farringdon trying to get to Euston, so I could just get the Metropolitan Line Hamilton City or Circle to Euston Square, thankfully. So we need to be at 4.9 by the way before we reach this brick arch. So the starting signal clears. There we are.
Find the gap between the train and the platform.
This is Farringdon.
Just a general view of Farringdon here. Some nice ambient sounds of class 700 there.
This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Farringdon.
Dual voltage parts of Thameslink core here, third rail and overheads, so very well modelled here. Although we don't have the Thameslink core in game actually, there's a freeware version which isn't complete yet, but there's no payware version of the Thameslink core. So, but that has been well modelled despite all this. Some run-off sidings here to our right. I don't know what they are for actually. And some very interesting graffiti. Tox is an interesting one, because that brings me back again to playing the watching the Tube, where there was Tox graffiti was going on even back then. Tox tag.
The next station is Farringdon. Exit.
Not far now, you'll be pleased to hear. But I need to be doing 9.9 maximum and 2 car lengths before the starting signal here at Barbican. So we can go. Yeah.
This is Farringdon.
So very, very nicely done around here.
This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Moorgate.
I believe Barbican was also referenced in the 2 runnings as well. But you can see here, these platforms, the disused platforms, this is the old Thameslink branch to Moorgate, which called it Barbican and Moorgate. And the service to Moorgate was withdrawn, and the Thameslink service was withdrawn in 2009 as part of the Thameslink programme, because platforms at Farringdon needed to be extended, and this was to be extended across the branch, and therefore Moorgate, the Thameslink platforms the Thameslink branch was closed. About a approach control signal. I'm doing 19.9 maximum by the end of the platform here.
This is Moorgate. This is a fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Liverpool Street.
Now, can you guess what the purple's for on the sign? It's due to this was set a few years ago before Elizabeth Line was completed, quite a while before. The signage was put in place just in case, so they could just literally just put the sticker on there for the purple, all ready for Elizabeth Line. And these are the bay platforms here at Moorgate, which are used quite rarely. I did it on the A stock tour, but they're used quite rarely by Hammersmith City Circle Line Metropolitan Line. Well, not actually done it in service. And behind here, that was the old Thameslink branch platforms here. And nice touches here with the station history, very nicely done. Let's get going again. 2 more stops, not far to go. So all you commuters to central London after your 70-minute commute from Chesham, they can all look forward to their working day, and they look forward to doing it all again later on in the evening. I don't think I'd want to commute that far. I used to commute to London, but it was about 45 minutes.
Rail, London Underground and National Rail services.
So you can see the 20 there between the running rail and the fourth rail. This is temporary speed restriction 20 miles per hour, We need to be at 19.9 in the middle of the platform here.
This is Liverpool Street. This is the fast Metropolitan Line train to Aldgate. The next station is Aldgate.
All these commuters looking forward to work. I see this guy's excited. Look at him. Wow. Very nicely modelled again. There are some really nice custom station assets on this route. It's very, very London Underground, very, very authentic. So we can't be up, accelerate to 40, we need to be at 9.9 maximum for the 10 miles an hour approach control. Should clear momentarily. There we are. Now we can accelerate to 40. And again, the radio thing I was mentioning, the Aldgate signal cabin, that stands for. It's at 9.9. Signal cabins like this will be a thing of the past, unfortunately. There's a lovely one at Edgware Road which is recently decommissioned. And actually, where we are volunteer at, we have an old Westinghouse signal panel on the underground from, I believe it's from the Waterloo City line. I could be wrong. Someone will tell me if I'm wrong.
The next station is Aldgate, where this train terminates. Change for Circle Line trains via Victoria. Please take your belongings with you when you leave the train.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
Again, now approaching Aldgate, this service terminates here. Make sure you have everything with you. This includes luggage and children. Make sure you take everything with you when leaving the train. Thankfully, with the approach control, and because I have the manual next to me, it's gone up without a hitch for once. I don't think I could do it without the manual. I don't think I'll be able to remember all the approach control without it. Very nicely modelled Aldgate station here. And as you can see, Metropolitan Line, very nice route, especially with the recent PlusPak enhancement pack. It's really nice to drive, and with that and the SamT sound pack, it's a lovely route, lovely unit to drive as well. Highly recommend picking it up. You need to pick up the S8 and the Metropolitan Line separately or in a bundle. It does go on sale occasionally, so I really highly recommend picking it up. That was the S7 mark, just coming up to the S8 mark, which is on the ground.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform.
This is Aldgate, where this train terminates. Please take your belongings with you when you leave the train. All change.
Just the awkward wait for the scenario to end now. Here's a view of Aldgate. Aldgate off here. Aldgate off here. What about Euston? So there we are. Another finished scenario. Be back soon, possibly maybe Open BVE or Trenton World when Hadfield Glossop Line's released. At some point in the near future. Thank you very much for watching. If you did make it through, well done. And I'll see you. Speak to you soon. Much appreciated. Thank you very much.